All right, sourdough bread, super easy. Don't let it scare you. A lot of you think it's too hard, too much. Look at that. That is my sourdough starter. And I'm not even measuring, you guys. I didn't measure. It's supposed to be 2/3. I'll put the recipe, but I didn't even measure. And that's what's left. And I'll make more, put it in, smells so good. And then I add my water. I did measure the water, but it's tap water. It's not filtered water. I feel like some of these sourdough people like have all these stipulations and you're like, okay, there's just too much. Just do your thing. It's fine. Just make the bread. Don't wait. So I didn't put the temperature thing on to see. I just kind of used my own judgment, put 1 1/3 cup of water, 2 tablespoons of oil. I didn't measure, and 2 teaspoons of salt. It's supposed to be fine sea salt. I didn't have it. I used table salt. And you guys, you know what? It turned out okay. So don't worry about all the, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. Just make the bread. And the more you make it, the more you're like, oh, I can do this. Okay, so then just stir those 3 ingredients together: the water, the sourdough starter, the oil, and the salt. So yeah, 4. Then you're going to put 3 2/3 cup of bread flour. Now I do bread flour. Sometimes I have only all-purpose flour and I use that, and it's okay. It's okay. But I'll use the bread flour and I'll put it in there. I didn't have my stand mixer. I want you to see that it is easy. I did it in the camper. I made sourdough bread in the camper. I wasn't home with all my appliances and all my things, and it was okay. Actually, on Sunday through Tuesday, I probably could have baked it out on my steps because it was 110 degrees. It was awful. But anyways, so you get it all together, and it's called shaggy, and you'll see it. It's super shaggy looking. It doesn't look like it's going to come together at all. And you get your hand in there. Yes, you have to use your hand. If you don't have your mixer, use your hand, get it in there, start moving it around. Once it gets all the flour incorporated, then what you'll want to do is put a little oil in your bowl, just a little, not a lot, a little oil, and kind of not coat, but just kind of move the bread around. Stick it in there, put a tea cloth. Why a tea cloth? Because it doesn't have lint. It's a towel that does not have lint. So I agree with that one. Or you can some people put shower cap, plastic, brand new, of course, over it. Whatever. Just something to kind of keep the draft off. And I didn't have a bread proofer oven here, so I put it in the microwave. I didn't start the microwave. I just left it in the microwave and thought, you know what? This is where the least amount of draft is because we have the air on and the fan going. And it was fine. So then once you do that, you put it in there for 30 minutes. Pull it out, and you'll see what I do. I just kind of tuck it over 4 times all around, put it back in, cover it up, put it back into the microwave. You can do this and then do another 30 minutes. You can do this up to 4 times. I only do 2. You can do as many times as you'd like. Then you let it double in size. Once it's double in size, then you take it out. You put oil in your Dutch pan or whatever pan you're going to use, and let it sit in there, let it rest for about a half hour, and then you bake it. And I'll have the recipe on there too. You put it at 400, you bake it. I do it with the lid on for 20 minutes. Then I take the lid off after 20 minutes. And sometimes I do it in this camper with it's different than the electric oven. So this is a gas stove oven. And sometimes I have to go 30 minutes in here. So it just depends. Anywhere from another 20 to 30 minutes with the lid off. And I feel like people won't and don't start because they feel like overwhelmed before they even start. Don't let that do that to you. Seriously, grab a starter, start making it. You can do it. And when you have your bread come out, and you know that you made it, the pride you feel, and it's so good. It is so good when it comes out. And they'll say, don't cut it right away. Let it cool. look, if I'm going to go through all this hassle, which is not that much, but if I'm going to go through all that hassle, now this is when I'm just, it's shaggy and you're just making it smooth. And you do it 4 times or whatever you want and put it back in. There you go. But if I'm going to go through all that trouble, I'm going to eat my bread when it's warm, okay? Actually, when it's piping hot, and put my butter or my spices and my oil or whatever. So you eat it whenever you want. It is fine. It's not going to hurt anyone's feelings. It's your bread. So seriously, I want to know if you guys are making it, how it went. I do have a starter video. I call it my ADHD starter. I did put sugar in that one, but I don't anymore. I don't put sugar at all. But I thought it would be better. What I found was the reason my starter wasn't growing as much as I liked it to is because it wasn't warm enough. So now I make sure it's warm. And even when I feed it, I put warmer water in. Not too hot because you'll kill the yeast and then you'll have to start all over. But you can make your own starter too. Or you can get a starter from someone. Look at that, doubled in size, I think. It's ready to go. Or maybe it's just time to do the 4. I'm not sure. Okay, so I don't remember. It was yesterday. So I just checked it out. It wasn't doubled in size maybe. And so we were waiting for it to double in size. It probably is double in size now. It did in the air conditioning. It did take around 4 to 6 hours to double in size. So with my bread proof oven, it takes less time. I did have another video, but I had it where you could see all my mess in my camper. And I'm like, that might be overwhelming for people that are already overwhelmed by watching the video or trying to start the sourdough. So I scratched that one and I redid this one so that all you can see is pretty much clean. No chaos. So I sprayed the pan with the avocado spray. I did that. Listen, it was hard to come out. So I would suggest, even if you do the avocado oil spray, make sure either 1, you put a ton, or 2, add some oil to it, because when it was already baked, I had a hard time getting it out. Did I get it out? Yes, but it was a little bit different, a little bit difficult. So I'm going to score it. You don't have to have a fancy knife. You don't have to have a fancy tool. If you want to get into that later, go ahead. I'm just saying, use what you got, okay? Make your bread, use what you got. I just used that knife. It was a very sharp knife, and I made a little pattern on it for me, not for anyone else. Now, I do suggest you do score it like that, because if you do have any bubbles in the bread, you need to get them out and they have to escape. And if they don't, then you're just going to have holy bread. And I'm not talking like church holy. I'm talking there's going to be chunks of holes, and you're not probably going to be so excited about that. All right, so it came out. Look at that. Yum. Oh. Am I waiting? No, I'm not. I got a serrated knife. I do think you need a serrated knife. Look at the steam coming. You guys. Oh my gosh. It was so hot I could hardly touch it. Look at that. That is perfection. You get your oil and spices. You get your butter or whatever, and you eat it. So what I do is I put oil, and I've made a recipe and a video on these spices. They are so good. People have asked. I've got to post it again. And then I put Parmesan cheese. And it is just yummy, yum, yum. Okay? You get your bread. It's super hot. I'm so excited. You eat it, and it is so good. Enjoy. Like, share, and save. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet for more recipes.